right, YouTubers, hope y'all saw how bad it shakes or vibrates when you start applying the brakes. From my experience that I've done in other cars, it's always been 100% the front rotors that are warped, so I change them out and that takes care of the problem. But this being a Beamer, I'm thinking it might be the dynamic drive, so I'm having a hard time trying to distinguish what's causing that vibration. But I'm going to go with the rotors for right now and see if that takes care of the problem. So let's get started on that. And yes, it could be several other things. For one, it could be your front struts. They're worn out and they vibrate when you hit the brake. All the weight goes to the front. It could also be something in your front end. But I know I have a tight front end. I've done everything on the front end, so that shouldn't be the problem. But let's start with the rotors first. Today we're going to do the front rotors and brake pads on this 2011 BMW 535i. And this is a 17 millimeter. Okay, now that I have the wheel off, I like to go up here, driver's side up here, and take this cover off. It has like 3 little plastic clips, and you pop the middle out. You need a screwdriver. All right, I got me a screwdriver here. Get a closer look there. Just pop this head up. Just pop out. And you have another one over here. Pop that head up. And out it comes. Make sure you don't lose those. And then you have another one here, which mine is missing it. Okay, let's zoom back out. And you just want to lift this up, and it's hooked on this bar with these little clips right here. They go in between that bar like that. One goes to the back and the two go to the front. Slaps on there. That's what holds it. Get this out of the way. Here's your reservoir. I open it up and just leave the cap like that, because I'm going to compress the pistons and I don't want no pressure on there. And I'll keep an eye on it because it can overflow. Alright, the first thing I want to do is take off this little clip. All you want to do is put a screwdriver here. Make sure it don't pop on your face, and just pop it out. That's all you do. And to put it in, make sure that these 2 little ears, that one and that one, go behind this caliper. It's kind of tricky, guys. Once you get it in there, I take my screwdriver. You can pull it like this with your hand, and I push it in. It's not in yet, but you saw I grabbed the screwdriver and I pushed it and I got it in place. Oop. And then you want to hit it here, and what you're trying to do is get it to go into that little slot right here. There, it's locked. Now there's 2 ways of doing it. If you're gonna do the whole rotor, you want to take, of course, the whole caliper and bracket off. That's what I do. If you're just doing the brakes, I guess if you want to, you can go this way. Back here you've got these little dust covers. Let me see where I'm at. Right here. They just pop out, and then you've got a hex number 9 to take those off, and then go up here, and you've got the other one somewhere up here. Okay, right here. I'm looking through the camera, so I'm getting lost. And you remove those with the hex 9 like this. I already got the hex 9 on the top up here. Now we're going for this bottom one. Let me lock into it. There we go. So I'm not going to pull it all the way. I just want it out enough to try to get this caliper out. And here's where you want to use some mechanical wire, bungee cord, or a brick down here to rest the caliper on. Okay, I went ahead and tied it with this mechanical wire just to hold it so it don't drop on me. And now you can get away with not doing this, but this wire was hooked up on this clip right here. I pulled it out just to give me more room. If I happen to drop the caliper, I got a little more play before it snaps anything. Okay, and then what I do, I take the screwdriver and I shove it in between the brake pad and the caliper, and I pull on it. Dang, be careful though, because that'll slip on you like that. Then I do the same on the bottom and pull on it. What it's doing right there, it's compressing that piston in so you can remove this caliper. Okay, I think we can get it out now. Yeah, see, and it comes out. And you want to set it on something, or like I said, have it tied up with some wire like that. And now you can do your brakes. Take your brakes off, change them. All right, guys, I'm going to show you how to take that sensor out. There's several ways. By hand, you can try to wiggle it out. Have your fingers like that. Be very careful. And if you can pinch it, that's better. There, it came out. If it don't come out like that, because I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not going to make it look easy, like, oh, wow, everything comes out like that. Try getting something with the hook, like that, and going in the front of it. And getting on the front and yanking up. And see, it came out. I yanked it up. Or, if you can't get it that way, a screwdriver, but go behind it here. Go through this side and catch it right there and tap it. That might not work. And tap it and it'll pop it up. See, there it goes. Just don't want to mess it up because I'm going to reuse it. But anyway, that's the way you do it. I'm going to go this method right now. And here's your sensor. And you can reuse it, but the only thing is, if your light goes on notifying that you need to change your brakes, then this is done. You'll have to replace it, and you can get them online for like 10 bucks or go to the parts store and pay like 50 bucks for them. But it's reusable. And if you do run your brake pads to this, it'll hit here and it'll send a warning to your dash saying brakes need to be changed, whatever. You can still, if you don't have one, you can still change the brakes, put it back on, put the old one back on there till you get the new one in the mail. I've done it like that. You know, I didn't have one, so I ordered one and I drove it like that. And when it came in the mail, well, you put it back on, you know, and just push it back in there. Make sure you look and see how it comes out and put it back the way it came out. Okay, now that we got the sensor off, we can flip this bad boy and out comes the brakes. And that's where your sensor is going to go, right in this little groove in the inside pad. Just remember that. We're going to get this out of the way. Just flip it over here. Now I may have to tie it up higher. Yeah, that's that because we're changing rotors. That's probably high enough. I don't want to damage this bad boy, so let's just hide it back there somewhere. Now we need to undo these two bolts right here. Get this block out of the way. This bolt down here, and where am I at? This one right here. And they're on there tight. They have Loctite. So when you put it back on, put Loctite. I think it's an 18 millimeter. Now I already broke it loose. I used the long bar. Take this off. And I'm holding the bracket with my forearm, or else it would fall off. See? There is your bracket. So remember how it came off? And now we're ready to proceed taking this rotor off. Okay, now we need to take off this little booger right here, and sometimes that booger can be a pain in the rear. I remember the first time I had one that was rusted on there. I tried and it started kind of like stripping it. It's called an impact screwdriver. It's about under 10 bucks, and it has different bits on there for whatever. Most of them are screwdriver and Phillips, so that ain't gonna work here. This is a hex. Let me see, hex 6. So it has an adapter here, so you can put your other bits in there, whatever you're gonna use, put it in there. But we're not gonna use those because none of them will work. So I'm gonna take this off, put this one on. Okay, this one only has it to take it off to the left side. The more expensive ones have an L and an R. You twist it to the right and it'll tighten it. Twist it to the left and it'll loosen it. But I don't think anybody needs to tighten it that bad, you know. And this is only made, I guess, for taking them off, because I don't see no L or R on it. And what you do is you put it on there, and then you're gonna whack it with a hammer, and all that, you know, pressure is gonna go in there and shock it and twist it. Show you how that's gonna work. Like I said, I don't need to do it on this one because it's loose. I can take it off. Let me see. Oops, I gotta lock that up. I put a large screwdriver down there to hold it from turning. It's not turning. Okay, now we'll just whack it. And like I said, on this I don't need it, but I'm just demonstrating how it works. You give it a few whacks, bam, bam. I like to turn it as I hit it, and it'll loosen it up. There's that booger that drives people nuts sometimes. One rotor comes off. Oh yeah, I got that screwdriver down there. Alright, YouTubers, here's the new rotor. I ordered it from Parts Geek. Oh yeah, let's compare it and make sure we got the right one. Okay, the problem with that new rotor, this part right here is a lot bigger in diameter. It hits on this brake. That's what I noticed. Look how much space I got right here, right now. Almost, my pinky almost fits there. The other one was touching. I inspected it closer now and see how wide this is. This is a lot smaller. Let's flip it around. Look how wide this is compared to this one. Let me set it on top of it. Everything lined up, the holes look perfect. The circumference on the disc, perfect, the same size. But here's the kicker. Look at the difference on that hub. I guess you could call it a hub. Look how much wider it is, and it just won't work. Look, you can barely see where it's scraped. I didn't want to scrape it too much. Look at the size of that. Wow, almost an inch, half an inch. So there's no way that was gonna work. And I saw it hitting the caliper. I go, that ain't gonna work. Okay, YouTubers, after about a month and a half, I'm finally gonna hopefully finish this job. I didn't order them. I'm still having a hard time getting the correct one, so I just took them to O'Reilly and got them resurfaced. I just picked them up yesterday, so I'm gonna just clean them up real quick. Just like to spray some of this brake clean, knock off the dirt, dust, whatever. Okay, we're ready to compress the piston, and I'm gonna try this. As I compress the piston, this is what I'm talking about. If I'm watching this, I'm compressing the piston and looking up here at the same time. When I see it overflowing, just suck out a scoop, chunk it, and continue. Okay, let's see if we can get this in here. so good. I don't like this. I'd rather have that one that I had. It worked awesome. So you gotta turn, hurts your hand. I don't know if y'all saw my video where I pushed in a caliper or a piston on a 2000 Chevy truck. I fabricated a tool. You know what? Maybe I'll do this here so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Oh, cool. It'll work on here. I get to show off my little contraption. Okay, I take a regular C-clamp, put it in there. I get to where it's tight. And this is what I fabricated. Took a socket. This was 9/16. I cut the sides and I put it on the ratchet. That way, this doesn't hurt my hands when I'm using this tool, or when I'm using this one. This digs into your hands. Well, now it won't dig into your hands. Ta-da! Put it in there. It works perfect. If that's too slow for you, take it off. Impact gun time. Just make sure it's in there good, and don't put your hand anywhere around it, because I've done that, and this thing turns so fast it'll whack your hand. Watch. See? Now let's look up there and see if the reservoir. We're good up on the reservoir. But I won't use the impact gun. I used it on the Chevy truck I did, because it was that caliper. I didn't think I was going to be able to save it, but I did. I think it's in. Now how do you take it off? I have to use the gun. Wonder why I hesitated to grab that gun and throw you away. See how that spins? That'll hit you. And we're in. Cool. Okay, we're ready to put the rotor in. And I marked them. This one that don't have no markings goes on this side. And remember, you've got a little screw. Where the heck is it? I guess here. Yeah, here. Line it up with this screw, or a little hole for that screw. And I'm gonna have to move this back, because there's no way. It couldn't be just that simple. Okay, and it takes a hex 6, number 6, for that little screw that you're gonna put in there. Get some of these wires out of the way. I hate doing this part right here. For me, it's kind of tricky. Just gotta lift up on it. There we go. That helped a little bit, those lug nuts on there. I'll take them off. Okay, I'm gonna tighten it, but the wheel will spin. So I got a screwdriver and I stuck it in through these vent hose slots, and it's just wedged up against the frame there. Okay, we got the caliper on, and it's a lot easier if you take off the caliper and the bracket together. That way you don't have to be trying to find those two slip bolts, the slots in there. And let's check our reservoir. We did good. Didn't even overflow. I'm gonna go ahead and put the top on since we're done compressing all the pistons in. There we go. Down up here. Put that little cover back on. Line the slots. Put my two plastic Little rivet thing on my jiggers. We're done up there. Now, the thing about, like I said, I started this video about a month and a half ago. I was having trouble getting the rotor, so I decided to go with just turning, resurfacing them. And this signal, where's it at? This wear sensor finally wore out. Where I was waiting for the find the rotors, I was driving around like that, and I was hoping I'd get the rotors before I got to this point. Well, it did. It showed up on the iDrive. Brakes need to be changed. So I said, I'm screwed now. I need to go buy this. I just yanked it out of there. I mean, it's no good no more. And I'm just gonna flip it up here somewhere. And like I said, you can drive like that if you need to order it till you get it. So this one I'm gonna drive to the store to go get it. All right, let's put this little cover. Make sure you get these ears behind these little stubs, whatever you call it. What I do is I line it up where it's gonna go and push in. Oops, that one didn't go on behind it. There, both of them are behind. Just hold pressure and push it in. Make sure it falls into that little slot there. I fabricated this little bolt alignment tool. It's all crooked. I did it half-ass in a hurry. There. Get the tire. Okay, let's go. I'm ready to finish this job, guys. There we go. Boom. It does help. I'm gonna take my socket, 17 millimeter, starting by hand, and now we can undo this booger. It's easier if it's straight, not all crooked like mine. But like I said, I really don't use it. I haven't really had much trouble. Now we're ready to tighten it. Okay, we're in this long stretch again. Here's where I usually drive my cars, test drive them after I work on them. And I'm gonna apply the brake now. You can see the water leaning forward, but it's not shaking. Remember that other bottle I had? It was just shaking like crazy, vibrating. Let's pick up 60 again. Apply the brake. Watch the water go forward. That way you can tell I'm braking. And look, it's not jumping everywhere like Jurassic Park. And see guys, 99% of the time when I do cars, that is the problem when they're vibrating the steering wheel. It's your front rotors are warped. You can't see it, but they're warped. And like I said, I was having a hard time getting the rotors, so I went ahead and just had them turn, resurface, and that worked. That did the job. I mean, $30 compared to what I was gonna spend. So hey, I came out pretty good there. And if the whole car is shaking, I've heard that it's your rear rotors, but I'm not 100% sure on that. That was a little dip I jumped. So there you go, guys. If you're having that problem, hopefully this will solve your issue. See how it shakes? Watch the water go forward. That way you can tell I'm braking. And look, it's not jumping everywhere like Jurassic Park. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you. And like always, God bless and good luck.